Hello, how are you? This is Elsa coming from Bemis Crafty Corner, and today we're going to do a real quick tutorial on this. So I was doing this live the other day, and I sort of wanted to add these envelopes, and I wasn't sure how to do it, so I messed around with it, and what I came up with was this. And so you have these little cascading pockets and a little closure to keep them all up. So I'm going to get out a supply list, and then I'm going to walk you through this one real quick. Give me just a minute to get everything out, and I'll be right back. Okay, let me begin by saying I apologize for the glare here. There's really not a lot I can do about it. I'm in front of a window, and that's just, you know, the sunlight. So let's look at the things we're going to need. Obviously, a paper trimmer, a circle punch. I like the 1-inch, so that's what I'm going to be using today. Some ribbon or lace for the closure. Some Velcro sticky dots are very helpful here. Ink and a dauber. I'm going to be using 2 types of adhesive, my regular art glitter glue, and then either 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac to add the ribbon. A little bit of double-sided sticky tape would be helpful here to hold the ribbon in place while you're waiting for it to glue up. A ruler, some envelopes, small ones preferably, and some paper that you want to build this out of, and a piece of cardstock for your base. Okay, so I'm going to clear stuff out of the way, and I will be right back, and we're going to get started cutting our base and getting our cards lined up so we know where to glue them. Okay, be right back. Okay, so now we have all of our envelopes glued together. They're nice and even, and you have something that looks like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is just take this, and we're just going to grab the bottom envelope and flip it the other way. So you want all of your flaps lined up, and you want your pink parts on the inside, okay? And that's when we're going to bring in our paper. Now, this is our top envelope, so we're going to put it right there on our edge, and then down here, that's the bottom. So we're just going to get it nice and straight, and then what I do is put a mark here. It's not going to, you know, don't worry about it. It's not really going to show. Okay? So now, we're going to put glue on our flap. If you're going to ink this, now would be a good time. You probably should have done so already, but I'm silly. I'm not inking this one, so here we go. So I'm just putting my adhesive just on the flaps, okay? So I'm putting glue just on the flap parts, just these flaps. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this upside down, and I'm going to put that at the top, line it up, and my line at the bottom. I'm going to let that dry. And now I have my cascade. Okay? So now we can talk about, you know, covering this. I'll be right back, and we will get some measurements. All right. So we're going to cut some paper to cover this. So I cut some pieces that you guys can see here. So you're going to be looking for 3 3/4 by 2.5 on the outside of the envelope. 3 3/4 by 2 inches on the inside here. And if you want to cover this part, it is 3 3/4 by 1/2 inch across there. Okay. At the top, again, it's 3 3/4 by 2.5. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting some pieces. going to start by cutting 3 3/4 inch wide. And then we're going to cut our 2 1/2s. And this is just paper that I have used, I have left over from a different project. So that is going to be the fronts of my envelopes. And let's see. I think I'm going to cut this to be the top. So let me just get the white off here. And then, whoop, there we go. I'm going to cut a piece that's 3 3/4. And then we'll do our 2 1/2. And then we're going to cut our 1/2 inch strips out of this as well. I hate cutting anything in there on the 1/2 inch. But, you know, necessary evil, guys. Necessary evil. Oops, that one moved. Uh-oh. Let me get this edge back to normal. Okay, right there. And then move it up 1/2 inch. Okay. So there's my 3 strips. And then we're looking for the insides. So these are going to be the ones that are 3 3/4 by 2 inches. So I'm going to cut these at 3 3/4 across. And then we're going to cut some pieces that are 2 inches. Now, I always cut mine just a little bit more than they need to be, just so that I can, you know, have a little wiggle room on this. All right, so now I have all my pieces cut. I'm going to clear the desk and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our piece that is 3 3/4 by 2 1/2 that goes up here. Just like that. We have our 1/2 inch strips that are going to go in here if you want. Then we have our 3 3/4 by 2 1/2 inch pieces that are going to cover the inside of our pockets. And we have our 3 3/4 by 2 1/2 inch pieces that are going to cover the outside of our pockets. So at this point, make sure that you ink everything that you want to ink, because we're going to start gluing some stuff down. And so if you want it inked, you're going to want to get it inked. Now, on this, if you want to ink this, you're going to ink the outside edges, front and back of both your envelopes, all the way around. Okay? That's kind of the deal. All right? Now, go ink everything, and I'll be right back. All right, so I started by putting in my strips here, and then this larger piece is going to go up here. And I'm using tape on this because there's really no stress on it. And then I'm going to do my fronts. Lined up where I want it. Missed a spot there. And all I do is line it up here at the bottom. That way I can see both sides. And that helps me to get it nice and straight. Okay. So once I'm done getting all of these down, then I'll move on to the fronts. So now I'm going to do these. Same thing, I'm going to line them up at the bottom. One and this one. And then my top piece, and then once I have these all mounted up, I can decorate, you know, or whatever I want. Make my cards. Now I do want to put some finger tabs in these. Go ahead and put in my punch. Look and make sure that it's pretty much even. And of course I'll go back and re-ink the punched area. By just lifting it up a little bit, giving it a little bit of ink. And then I can start building some journal cards for this and put those in. Now, if I do not want this here, I can cut a piece for this, or if I just don't want it there, I can just cut it off. And for this one, I'm going to cut it off. So I'm just going to give myself just a little bit, just a scant amount at the bottom. That's good cardstock. So the next part is attaching our securing device here. So I'm going to get everything out of the way and I'll be back to show you how to do that. Okay, So to secure this, we're going to use a piece of lace or ribbon, and it's going to come down, and it's going to be just below this. So what I do is I put about an inch in the back. I come down, and then I need about an inch and a half here in the front, and then I just cut that off. Okay. Then I use a little bit of double-sided tape on my top, right in the middle. And that's just to hold this for the moment, so I can get everything lined up. And then down here, this is a little long, so I'm going to take that off. There we go. So down here, I need to create my closure. And so the way that I do that is I take a piece of scrap paper, and this one I got right here. It has a pretty little rose on it. Just trim a little bit off of here so I can get the piece I want. There we go. So I'm just going to punch that out with my 1-inch punch, and then I'm going to punch 2 pieces of my scrap. I'm going to glue my image to the first one. Just like that. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to fold this sort of in half. It doesn't have to be totally in half, but I'm going to fold it up. And I'm going to add some Fabri-Tac to one of my circles. You could use hot glue for this if you want. That's totally up to you. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my lace onto my circle. And then I'm going to put some more fabric glue on the back of the front piece that I created. Make sure it's going in the right direction. I'm going to put that on there. And then I'm going to clamp this just till it dries, okay? And that's kind of it, you know? So, I'll be back in just a minute. We're going to walk through the very last steps of this and get it all set up for you. All right, so finishing it off. Your journal cards are going to be the same size as your front pieces here. So 3 3/4 by 2.5. Okay. Or you could do 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 if you want. And that'll just make it stand up a little bit tighter at the top. Entirely up to you. But you'll need 3 of those. And then on your closure, when you're ready to put this on to whatever it is you're putting it on, that would be when you would add your sticky dot to the back here, your Velcro. If you have a cabochon cover, that makes this look really nice. I'll show you guys. Look. Makes it really pretty. Okay. Now, if you don't want to put a Velcro on this, if you put a magnet under here, you can use certainly use a magnet closure, or you could add 2 cabochons to it and just use weight to hold it down, okay? And that'll pretty much keep it from flopping. But that's it. That's my very quick tutorial for this one. I know it's not quick, but I try. All right, listen, if you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that button for me and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends, then your friends can be my friends, and my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends. Before you know it, we have a giant crafting community. I do go live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays And I post videos at least twice a week, typically on Mondays and Wednesdays, but it could be any day of the week, and it could be 4 or 5 videos a week. Just depends on how I feel. Let's see, what else? In 2022, I have 2 things going on, one of which is my free classes. I'm doing a series of free classes throughout 2022, and you can find those by clicking the subscribe and hit the all notifications, and that way you find out as soon as those videos come out. The other thing I have going on is my 12 of 22 journal challenge. There's still time to get in on that. All you have to do is click on the link in the description box below. It's going to take you to a slideshow, cut, paste, whatever it is you have to do to get there. It's going to tell you everything that you need to know. You do not need to complete all 12 journals to be a part of the challenge, and I'm giving away some really nice thank you gifts for that. So that being said, that's all I have for you today. Until I see you again, stay well. Bye-bye.